Hey guys, this is Nate. What is the best half marathon training strategies to get you to the next level? I wanted to talk on this topic so I can get you guys in the right mindset in terms of what are the exact steps that you need to take in order to set a new personal best for the half marathon. I'm going to be covering 9 specific strategies that I feel, based on my own background and what helped me get to eventually run a 107.06 half marathon personal best. I think these particular strategies will help take you to the next level in your training. Whether you're a total beginner or you're an advanced level athlete, these specific strategies are really key, I feel, to get you to set a new personal best for the half marathon. So the first step I want you to keep in mind is you have to get uncomfortable. You have got to get out of your comfort zone in order to set new personal best. What you're trying to do is to race over a 20 or 13.1 mile, 21.1 kilometer race and sustain that pace for that entire duration of the race. You have to be smarter than your competition, and you have to be willing to get out of your comfort zone on a regular basis in order to set a new personal best. The half marathon is a very competitive event. It's a mixture of aerobic and anaerobic running, so you have to get out of your comfort zone on a regular basis. There's just no way around being able to sustain pace over that particular distance. So even in my own experience, I was always continually trying to get out of my comfort zone and not just run easy every single day. I had to get beyond, especially when you're trying to run a specific time over that particular distance. You have to train the anaerobic systems of your body and do it on a regular basis. But you also have to pay attention to the other fundamentals that go into running a half marathon successfully, and that is not just running fast, but also running slow and taking time to recover from these hard workouts that you're doing. The second way to do this, and the second way to run a really fast half marathon and improve over your half marathon event, is train specific to your race goal. Whatever goal you have in mind, whether you're trying to break an hour and 30 minutes, maybe you're trying to go under an hour and 10 minutes for the half marathon, or trying to break 2 hours for the half marathon, you have to get accustomed to what that particular pace is and train at, near, or very, very far below that goal race pace. Really the key to running a half marathon successfully is being able to sustain the pace longer your competition. It's easier said than done, I know, but if you're training at adequately and sufficiently enough over a long period of time at paces that are faster than the pace that you're trying to race at, then you're going to be very, very efficient at running at race pace, and you're going to be able to burn fat at race pace and conserve carbohydrate. A big reason why a lot of half marathoners have issues being able to sustain the pace over a long period of time over that entire duration is they just have not trained their body at an anaerobic level for a long enough period of time, sufficiently enough. It's not because they're lacking in motivation or lacking in ability. It's just how often have you trained at that effort, and how consistent have you been over a long enough period of time. There's nothing that can take the place of being tenacious and driven and motivated in your preparation. So don't expect this to be easy. I had to deal with the same things as an athlete myself. I didn't just get to a point where I could just about break an hour and 7 minutes for the half marathon. I had ups and downs. My personal best when I was in college was 113, so I had to lower it from 113 down to 107.06. And that took many, many years of training. So just really focus in on studying, the training at your specific pace and doing that often enough, and staying consistent over a long period of time. The fourth tip I want to share with you is study what the top runners are doing. That's something that I continually did over the years. I was always focused on what are runners that are better than me, what are they doing? What are they doing on their off hours when they're not training? I wasn't just focused on the specific workouts that they were doing. I wanted to know what were they doing nutritionally. Some of the best runners around the world, they really know how to relax and to really enjoy themselves. And I think that's really, really important in terms of you preparing for your next half marathon. You have to keep it fun, but you also need to study what are the specifics, what are the habits of great runners and what are they doing. I think that if you keep that in mind and you continue to read up, study, watch the videos I've created here. I've created a lot of content on RunDreamAchieve.com as well as video content. So if you want to know some of the ideas, some of the strategies that I've used to run 219 marathon and 107 for the half, go back and look at some of these videos. Focus on workouts that are going to yield you results. Again, it goes back to the quality over quantity topic that we talk about in other videos, but you have to study and do the types of workouts that are going to get you to a faster half marathon best. So say, for instance, you're trying to break an hour and 30 minutes for the half marathon. Well, you know you need to run 6 minutes and 52 seconds per mile for 13.1 miles. So are you training at paces that are closer to 6-minute pace down to like 6:30 mile pace? Are you able to are you able to get out on the track and do repeat miles at like 6:10 per rep for 6 reps with 2 to 3 minutes between each rep? So for an example, when I was trying to break 219 for the marathon, when I was still a 240 marathoner, I was trying to break a 222 marathon. So I knew to go from running around 606 mile pace down to 525 per mile pace. I had to really, like I said in the first step, get uncomfortable. I had to start doing the types of workouts that were going to yield me that particular result. So 3 types of examples of workouts that I was doing to that eventually helped me get under 220 for the marathon was 6 by 1 miles on the track, so 6 1-mile repetitions when I was very, very fit. And this is when I was 100% fit leading into it. I was actually nearing my taper phase of my marathon preparation. But when I was at my fittest, I was able to do 6 1-mile repetitions on the track at altitude in Colorado Springs between 445 to 450 per repetition with 2 minutes recovery between each rep. The next workout I did that was continually focused on doing was 3 2-mile repetitions. And again, when I was very, very fit, I was able to run those between 950 and 10 flat per repetition with a 5-minute recovery between each rep. The next type of workout I would do would be 16 times 400 meter repetitions at altitude between 67 and 72 seconds per rep with a 60 seconds recovery between each repetition. So as you are focusing on your half marathon and the specific race pace that you're trying to go after, regardless of what it is, kind of get a gauge of, okay, these are the types of workouts that Nate was doing. You're obviously, the paces are going to vary between us. Maybe again you're trying to break 2 hours for the half marathon, or you're trying to go under 70 minutes for the half marathon. Regardless of what your pace is, kind of get a gauge of, okay, 6 1-mile reps, 16 400 meter repetitions, 3 2-mile reps. Again, these are just 3 examples of the specific types of workouts I was doing. So the next tip I want to share with you to help you get in terms of the best half marathon training tips and strategies that have worked for me over the years. The next tip is to jog on your recovery days. It is so hard for us as motivated, driven athletes to slow down and jog on our recovery days. I think we get so caught up with the idea of, well, I have to run a specific pace on my easy days or my hard days. We're very focused on track workouts and doing hard workouts, but it's sometimes difficult for driven athletes to slow down and actually jog on recovery days, where you just forget about the type of paces you're accustomed to running. We're focused on tempo runs and doing repeat Ks and repeat 800s on the track. It's very, very difficult sometimes to just jog and relax on our recovery days. So if you want to take your half marathon racing to the next level, I cannot emphasize enough how important it is for you to jog instead of run on your recovery days. So again, I've worked with world-class marathoners, world-class 5K, 10K athletes, and Olympians I've actually trained with and been a part of military teams that had Olympians on these teams. These athletes would jog on their recovery days, so do not neglect how important it is for you to recover from all the hard anaerobic workouts you're doing. So don't take this lightly. Make sure you jog and relax. The next tip I want to share with you in terms of the best half marathon strategies and the best half marathon training strategies that have worked for me over the years is to focus on doing your strides. Okay, strides are, again, most of you guys already know this, but anywhere from 50 to 100 meters in length. You don't want to do these strides all out, but you do want to focus on about the last 20 meters of those strides to be all out. So again, it's again working on your leg speed, your overall turnover. Again, they're too short to build up any legitimate lactic acid buildup. But you want to be able to do these strides about every other day, 2 to 3 times a week, preferably on your easy days, because again, they're too short to build up any lactic acid. So you can do these on top of your training throughout the week. Over long periods of time, what these workouts are basically training at sprint speeds. So this is really key for you to continue to work on your leg speed. That's really going to help you set a new personal best in the half marathon. The next tip I want to share with you is to lengthen the duration of your tempo runs. A big part of the reason why a lot of athletes are not able to sustain that pace over 13.1 miles or 21.1 kilometers is they just have not spent enough time at their training at their anaerobic threshold. So as early on in your fitness, it's going to be difficult to get your heart rate up to about 167 to 172 beats per minute. You're training at closer to between 90 to 92% of your maximum heart rate. So expect it to be difficult at first, but just be patient with yourself. Know that as you get fitter and fitter, your heart doesn't have to work as hard. You'll be able to sustain that anaerobic threshold effort for a longer duration. So early on, it may be 3 to 4 miles, and later on, as you get fitter in your training, it may go out to 7 to 10 miles. Preferably, as you get fit for this half marathon, you want to be able to sustain that pace closer to 7 to 10 miles in duration. Sometimes the hardest part of doing these AT runs is just getting the heart rate up that high. Once you have it that high, then you can just sit in on the pace and focus in on that. Stay motivated. No one is going to hold your hand in this process. You have to get out the door and be willing to put in the time, and the consistent effort to get the results that you want in the half marathon distance. No one cared that I was getting out and training in inclement weather. Nobody cared that I was out, doing 140-mile weeks, putting in the consistent work, training for the marathon and the half marathon distance. Your goals are going to keep you going on those days where you don't want to go out for a second run, or you don't want to get up early in the morning to put in the work. Those goals in your competition, and remind yourself your competition is out there putting in the work, and if you slack even for the slightest, your competition, just know always your competition is always out there putting in the work. And if you want to run a specific time, or you want to lose weight, or you want to set a new personal best in the half marathon distance, you're going to have to stay consistent. You're going to have to stay motivated and be driven on a regular basis. And the last tip I want to share with you guys, if you really want to run faster over the half marathon distance, you want to run your long runs faster, at a faster pace. I'm not saying, and do not misunderstand me, I'm not saying you're supposed to run your long runs every single weekend fast. And early on in your training, your long run might be 5 to 7 miles in length. You want to first, as you're building into your training program, you want to first lay that foundation, build your mileage first, and then as you get fitter and fitter, you want to start running your long runs, a percentage of your long runs, at about 160 beats per minute, or about 85% of your maximum heart rate. This was the key, probably the most important out of all of these steps that helped me, most important strategy that I used to not only run a 107.06 half marathon, but also improve down to 2:19.35 for the marathon. I went beyond just running long, slow mileage to running a percentage of my long run, usually around between 30 to up to around 60% of my long run at 85% of my maximum heart rate as I was getting very, very fit. So I want you guys to keep that in mind. Like I said, I do have a lot of resources on RunDreamAchieve.com. I've created courses and training programs that are available to you guys where I have all of your workouts set up exactly what you need to be doing on a daily basis. And a lot of what I talk about, all the training philosophies that I talk about here on these videos, as well as the post on RunDreamAchieve.com, are set up to set you up for success and help you get a new half marathon personal best. So I hope this video has been helpful for you guys. If you're brand new to the channel, click the bell icon, hit that subscribe button, so when I make a new video, you guys will be notified. And if you can, I really appreciate you guys. If you guys can give me a thumbs up on this video, it helps the YouTube algorithms and helps the channel grow. So I appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend of training. And if you guys have any questions, anything else I can help you guys out with, feel free to leave me a comment below this video. There is also information in the description as well, some resources there for you guys. So definitely take a look at that whenever you guys are free. And have a great weekend. I'll talk to you in the next video.